everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today is February 11th. And before we get into our video, our Black History highlight for today is Dr. Jessica Watkins. Dr. Watkins is an astronaut, a geologist, an aquanaut, and a former international rugby player. To add to that list, in 2022, she became the first Black woman to live and work in the International Space Station for a long-term mission. Today, we're going to be talking about how to effectively communicate workload to employees. I have 10 tips for you, so let's get into it. Tip number 1, you want to start with context, not with the task. What do I mean by that? You're going to say exactly why this is important. You're not going to say, I need this done by Friday. Get it to me by Friday. No, you're going to say something along the lines of, this is high priority because it impacts our largest client renewal. Something along those lines. As I've said many times, people want to know the why. And it's easier for people to manage the workload that you've given them if they understand the why, the what, and who it affects. Next, you're going to be explicit about priorities. Sometimes it's easy for us to assume that everybody understands what the priority is, but that is not the case. You want to clarify that this is top priority. This is urgent, but not more important than that. People need to know, especially if there's many different projects that they're working on. The third thing you're going to do is acknowledge what your employees or your team is already carrying. You want everyone to know that you respect their time. You can ask, what's your workload? Or even say, here's what I think your workload is. Correct me if I'm wrong. The fourth thing we're going to do is make trade-offs known. If there's something that you know your team is in the middle of and this is more important, you're going to tell them to pause on that and focus all their attention on this, or focus most of their attention on this. Next, you're going to distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. If it's critical, say it's critical. Critical means you can't move this. This has to happen. It has to happen at this time and it needs to be done. Is it flexible? Flexible means that it can shift. Or is it just something that's nice to have? If it's something that's nice to have, that means like, okay, great if you can do it, but if not, it's not the end of the world. It's cool, but these other things need to get done. The sixth thing is get feedback. You need to constantly be asking questions. Constantly. Tell your team up front. If this becomes unmanageable, I expect you to let me know. People are afraid of feeling incompetent. So if you give them a heavy workload and it's too much and they're burning out, they feel like if I don't handle this and I don't take care of it, that just shows that I'm not a good worker. And that is not the case. And for many people pleasers out there, they don't want to disappoint you. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure you're not disappointed, even if that's at the risk of their own health. You need to make it known that overload is not normal. If they feel a type of way, if it's too much, they need to let you know. And it's not a bad thing if you bring someone in to help them or however you choose to handle that situation. You want to avoid hidden expectations. A couple days ago, we talked about how to communicate our expectations. You want to avoid any hidden expectations. So saying things like, do whatever it takes to get it done, no go. Please don't say that. Or saying something, we're all working nights. Everybody has a life outside of the job. You know that because you have a life outside of the job. And if you don't, you should get one. You want to promote a healthy work-life balance. So if there is overtime that is needed to get this done, you can say something along the lines of, this will require, or this may require 1 to 2 longer days this week. That's not the standard, but we can balance it out next week. Next, we want to separate performance from volume. What do I mean by that? You don't want to tell someone, you're just not efficient. That's why you're not getting it done. No, because it's not personal. What you can say, let's see what's on your plate and see how we can adjust it. Next, you want to have one-on-ones with your team. And in these one-on-ones, you are going to ask them, what are your top 3 priorities this week, next week, for the next 2 weeks? Ask them if there's anything that's unclear. And you can ask them, what would you drop if a new project came along? You want to ask these questions because in the case that this new project comes and you really need them on this, you can delegate that task to someone else or have them delegate that task to someone else to get done. Move things around so that The most urgent thing is getting done. The critical things are getting done first. Lastly, you want to model the behavior that you want. If your employees see you emailing people after midnight, not saying no to anybody or anything, and see you not taking any time off for yourself, they're going to do the exact same thing. We learn what's expected of us by watching other people do it. Many people are not going to come to you and ask you questions. There's a very rare group of people that's going to come up and say, okay, so what is expected of me? Most people are not asking these questions. People will watch what you do and say, oh, okay, so this is how it's handled here. This is the culture, and they will do it. So you want to make sure that you're modeling the behavior that you want from your employees. If you want a healthy work-life balance, which we all should, want our employees and for ourselves a healthy work-life balance, take your days off, set a strict boundary of when your emails are. No emails after 6 p.m., no emails after 5 p.m., something of that sort. And learn to say no. All right, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you tomorrow for more tips.